Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gabby Tries, another episode today. Today, we are back with another amazing guest and someone who is quite frequent to some of the shows that we've done with RNG and the 780. Wink, check it out now. But we're here with Chef Mariel. How's it going?
Not bad,
How
not
you
bad.
doing?
Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, of course. Had to have you back again, RNG 780. Check it out. In that episode, we went over so many amazing things at your spot, so many great foods. You were so excited to have us. I have a question. This is more for my cousin. We were driving by, and she was like, "Look, Gabby, they named a restaurant after me." And I was like, "Luna, I don't think so. I think there's another reason why they called it." So, can you tell us why Luna?
Well, Luna is the moon, right? Like Luna in Spanish, it means the moon. The moon is a very interesting thing for me personally too. I do have one of my dogs, name is Luna, but also I feel the kind of deeper meaning for me will be that the moon is the only thing that I can see with grandma, me being in Canada, she being in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of also a little bit of the story behind. So,
That's much more cooler than
yeah.
named after my cousin. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had talked quite a bit in our previous session. I'll do my best to avoid it in case viewers haven't seen it. But you had talked about how you wanted to incorporate, because sometimes you would go out at night and then come back and you would cook up a storm for your friends. Did that kind of also help decide to name it night, like the moon?
Not really like really about the nighttime because obviously the restaurant is open 11 till 9 on weekdays, 11 till 10 on the Friday, Saturday. But I don't think we need a specific time to just enjoy good food,
Awesome.
like
I
so.
like that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Who did your awesome, like, I noticed that the menu design and everything is like, I love the colors. And I know that last time we were like in the spot, like colors everywhere. So who was that inspiration and did you kind of reach out? Was it you? Like who kind of,
Well, I do have a genius behind
oh yes.
all the scenery about the design, the social media, right? And she knows me very well, right? Like it's good to have your designer or
Of course.
to be one of your good friends. But she knows me very well, and I think she really captures all that we wanted to represent at this restaurant. So yeah, I think it feels very classy, very still Mexican, but in a very girly way, right?
Oh,
So,
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. Did you have any kind of items that kind of you um, added or altered like to go with Luna?
Well, we have always had a really big menu, right? Because Mexican food is way more than tacos, right? So, especially having the influence from my city, that it's Puebla, I wanted to introduce a little bit more street food, right? So those little things, those messy little things that you want to, do with your fingers and stuff. But also we brought a couple of new items as actually the one that I brought today, that is the mole de olla, right? So a kind of, we call it stoop, not quite a soup, not quite a stew. Yeah, oxtail involved in there. So we really want to show to our community that there's way more than tacos and enchiladas,
No,
So
that's always awesome
yeah.
because it sometimes like I feel like when new foods are introduced, they only do like so little, and then you keep like all of the culture and awesome stuff that you grew up with behind kind of bars or something because you're like, I don't know if people will like it, I don't
Yeah.
know if you'll enjoy it as much, but like it's always amazing to me how you're always like, this is what I liked, this is what I enjoyed,
Yeah.
and I want you to try it. And it's more than just like you said, like tacos or like
Yeah.
taco. One word is the whole culture,
Right.
right? Because I'm sure that that's like I tell people all the time, like we don't just eat shawarmas like in the morning and
No,
something like
no, I'm
like
pretty sure you have way
yeah, there's
more.
a
Yeah.
whole breakfast, right?
Yeah.
Incorporate to it, so it's more than just one item, that whole culture. No, that was amazing. Off the menu, if you had to pick, like I'm coming in, brand new, never had any of the food, what would you serve?
Oh, that's a tough one. Right? I think Well, we do have certain specialty and also even like kind of Sunday dinner at grandma's, when I'm a kid, like certain things that way. I've been trying to really introduce the one that I brought today, the mole de olla. But also something else that it's like a must is, for example, also a pastel azteca, right? So one of those that it's like they call it the Mexican lasagna, a layer thing with tortilla and chicken and, veggie. And that's a very comforting dinner. But I feel that the new street food, it's been like everybody's crazy about it now, right? Like we brought the esquites is like the corn in a cob,
Oh,
right? So that's kind of one of my personally like favorite street food ever. But also we brought the tostadas, right? Because the biggest thing with a lot of people is the hard shell tacos. That doesn't exist in my country. Those hard shell things that doesn't exist, right? That's
that's
Tex-Mex. That's el taco americano, and that can stay at the States, right? But also, for example, for us, we do have the tacos dorados, right? But still, we roll them, we deep fry them. It's a different concept too. But talking about, for example, the tostada, that will be what I kind of always make a joke. If you're looking for those things, this is more like a flat tortilla that we deep fried, and we just kind of put beans and chicken and lettuce crema, right? It's very one of those messy things, but fun. And like I feel that as soon as you interact with your food, I feel that it's way better experience it.
no, 100%.
So
I'll always go like, because for us, like pitas, like they're foldable and it makes sense.
yeah,
Like when you have like this hard shell, I'm like, how did you make this?
yeah.
So why? Because never once have I had one where like it holds anything and just like you take one bite and it just like falls apart. And I'm like,
Well, that's
what?
the fun part, right? I think
It's just
even
like, yeah, okay.
maybe we could even do a challenge. Let's see who eat it, right, before it falls.
Knife and fork. Yeah,
Yeah.
like no, it's that's awesome. I believe I did actually have the kind of like you said Mexican lasagna because that was delicious. Amazing. Biased opinion, but I loved it. It was fantastic. Was there a dish that you would want people to try that's like very near and dear to your heart? Because I know that like at some of my like family's restaurants, when because they're restaurant owners, they're like, tell them to try this dish.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, because I made it. I'm like, okay, cool. Is there one for you?
I think all the menu will be that way, right? Like I really want everybody to really experience out of the taco scenery, right? One of the new items that it's been very popular lately is also the enchilada suizas, we call it. So this is enchilada with a green sauce and it's baked. It's a different concept from the original enchilada we still have on the menu. But lately, this has been like a really big popular item. So a lot of people really liking this, and especially because of the sauce, like a tomatillo sauce.
Oh,
So obviously that acidity and everything comes together. It's a must. That's something that I've been trying to. And obviously, I talk to people after they eat it, and I don't need to ask them, right? They they can do the finger. We don't judge at the restaurant. You can do the finger, no problem.
the plate is empty. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's always good. No,
Yeah, it's a good sign, I
that's
guess. Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, since we had kind of like visited last, have you noticed that like things have picked up? Like, how has things like has the kind of community essence? Because I know like things were obviously everyone went through a pandemic and times were harder and then transitioned.
Yeah.
Since we kind of talked to you last, like, have you noticed that the community is kind of like more excited, more abuzz? I know that like some of the restaurants we wanted to interview, unfortunately, are no longer around
Right.
because the pandemic just came and took some folks,
Oh
right?
yeah, that was hard, right? Like we're actually doing like 3 years in March, right? Like now, like since COVID hit, but we had a survival mode with takeout for 2 years. Still, I want to say like the takeout still is it's a big amount of takeout every day. But I think also between like kind of doing a new concept and new colors and like a refresh, right? Like a refresh, let's call it that way. I feel that a lot of people it's very interested to see what's going on. Still, we have new people, and for me, the best publicity is the word of mouth. Obviously, I still see a lot of, my friend told me, and everybody keep on talking about this. But I feel that also we're lucky to have a really nice community behind us, because if we didn't had all that community like to support us through COVID, it will be,
Yeah.
yeah, my restaurant will be in that list of like we couldn't make it, right? But we're still on business, and yeah, it's been, I think it feels busy right now because we just have like short staff, as everybody else I think in the world has short staff right now. But no, it's a good rhythm right now.
No,
It's
it's
good.
fantastic. No, I also know that the staff is also very important to you.
Oh yeah,
You were talking about how they're basically family,
yeah.
an extension of you. It's very important for you to like have them there, have them present, have the touches. Even you are always in the kitchen all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Everywhere,
Yeah.
whatever is needed. Right now I'm serving, right?
Okay.
And it's a very interesting kind of change for me also, right? It's fun. I don't mind it at all, but obviously I don't have time to do my own job, right? Sometimes I, right? But for sure, my staff, there's no way that I could have the restaurant obviously running without the army that I have behind, right? And obviously, like most of the people that I work with has been almost like 8 years with me working, and obviously new here and there, but the core of that restaurant is still intact. And yes, I do consider them like family. Like you deal with them every day. Like you, for me, it's very important that everybody gets, like together, that, they have a good time. And that's kind of also part of my job, right? Like I always try to make them, like obviously to have a good time, to feel. It's very hard to be on rush, especially for kitchen line is chaos. And but that's when we're doing jokes and we try to, just kind of
Balance
get
it out.
them out. And but yeah, I think the most for me the most important thing is that energy they're creating right now. And since we opened Luna, it's been a very good energy,
Perfect.
right? You can really actually, I think, feel it, right? Everybody gets along, everybody's having a good time. That's why I also decided to have 2 days close. I feel that everybody deserves their own weekend, like they really need to go see their family. Like you need to remember why you're doing things,
That's
right?
right.
And then it's not about all the time job, 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 right? Like what's the point of having all these job and money when you don't have time to spend it with your loved ones, right? So for me, that changed a lot during all this pandemic. Also, that's something that gives you, right? Like you balance yourself that way, and you put like priority too. So for me, one of my priorities that my staff is happy having their time off too, and also for me personally, for me.
You're like, yeah, I just need
Yeah,
time off.
yeah, because we're not a big corporation. We're a very small restaurant that we don't have 100 staff, right? That we can rotate. We just have the staff that I need to make it happen. And
The core
then,
team,
yeah,
the ones
and
you need.
that's what it is. And yeah,
No,
yeah. So
perfect.
yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask you like, do you like? I'm sure it does play a huge pivotal role that everyone's happy in a family, because I'm sure that also translates that love into the food.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So I actually have heard that everything tastes super good all the time. Like I always heard it's good,
Yeah.
but now it's like super
So,
good,
yeah.
right? So I believe in energy a lot, and obviously that's the way that we transmit our, energy creation and all that. And like I said, my prep team in the morning, my three beautiful ladies, they're having a good time in the morning. Every time that I come in, it's like coffee, a little bit of gossip, like all these things that make, I
That makes
think,
it into the food too. Yeah.
yeah, it has to do a lot with that. And obviously after, when I have the service time, I have my line cooks. That's my big army, right? Putting together everything. But I feel right now they're having a really good time, like my four guys are getting very good along. Like they're having a good time.
Perfect.
The servers obviously here and there, they're the new ones, right? But little by little we're connecting there. So I feel that, yeah, we're getting there. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. That's
Mhm.
always what you want to hear, because yeah, like I'm always imagining that, like I assume if things weren't like that, then it would also translate into
Oh yeah,
the work and
totally.
the energy itself. But like,
Yeah,
yeah, like always felt super lively.
yeah,
Always like, I feel like your energy is always like present there, and you're just super excited,
yeah,
because even like when you were in the previous kind of interview introduced as ceviche,
yeah,
yeah, and I was like, this is fantastic.
yeah.
And then you were like, you have to try it with this, and you have to do it
Yeah.
like this, and like
Yeah.
stir it, and like you even like helped me make it. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is fantastic. But like
Yeah.
I could feel that you were like excited to have someone eat, to have someone be there. Like that energy was like
Yeah.
immediately there, and the fact that everyone else shares the same thing always helps because like
Yeah. No, and it has to do, I feel, like, as a server right now, for example, in my experience right now serving, I learn things that, for example, this tostada that we're talking, right? I'm suggesting to people to have fun with it, to get your fingers in there. I have seen people going with knife
yeah,
and fork. That
like
doesn't work. Like, it's kind of like go inside, have fun. The esquites, the corn in the cob, also that's something that we're trying to really teach people how to eat it, right? Makes no sense, like, just to have the top and like you need to mix it in, like kind of certain things. I think it's important to really know the people how to eat certain items because it will change the experience totally, right? So I think it's part of our job as a server to also let you know, right?
yeah,
Like,
what's
for
happening?
example, myself, every time that in the restaurant somebody asks me for shots of tequila, the first thing I said is like, we don't shot tequila, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's for me, my grandma will kick you out. Like my grandma will be like, what is wrong with this guy? So we always like sip it, right? We take our time, we kiss it, right? Like the tequila should be like enjoyed in that way, right? And you have your sangrita to kind of clear the palate. Like it's a whole experience. It's all this shot
I learned
tequila.
something new today. Okay, yeah. So don't,
That's more
yeah.
for spring break in Cancun,
Oh,
I guess, right? And then you feel like Superman and you do whatever, right?
no, like we also had the chance to try the margaritas, which were
Mm-hmm.
amazing. I know this is very biased, but like, I can't lie. It was fantastic. Like, what
Well,
do you want from me? Tell us what do you want? Yeah.
I'm proud of those ones,
Yeah.
right? I
No.
think, like, honestly, I call them the best in town. Like, that's what I hear all the time. Even right now, I have a couple of clients, Puerto Vallarta, like doing Los Cabos.
Yeah.
They text me, like, your margaritas are still way better than whatever is going on in here. So, and the other thing, right? Like, in my city, especially, it's like a shaken margarita, right? We don't do the slushy thing. No, for me that's more like the coast. Like maybe I just remember being in Cancun seeing that like that.
And you're like, oh,
But in my city, most of the time it's like the shaken version of things. I feel that's way better for me. It's way better.
so then
So
I have to ask, is there something that's happening, like cuisine wise, Mexican cuisine wise, that you're like, please stop this? Because you mentioned the hard shell
yeah.
tacos. You mentioned story. Is there something that you're like, if you see it, you're like, that's it? Like,
I have seen the last time I was in Mexico that it was like a very quick trip, just bringing new decoration. I saw a couple of things as a street food that I was like, "Mm."
yeah.
For me, I'm like, no, right? Like for me, certain things are perfect the way they are already. You don't need to, like for example, I've seen right now a little bit of that corn on the cob. They're putting Doritos in it. I'm like, no, like for me, it doesn't work, right? For me, that dish already it's perfect,
Yeah.
So I've seen very interesting things too in the other way, right? But this one caught my attention the last time I was there. I was like, it doesn't work for me, right? But free will for
Yeah, that's right. Everybody
yeah.
try your
I
own.
respect. I
Yeah.
respect.
But
Yeah.
was there anything that you saw there that you're like, that would be interesting to kind of bring here
Oh, there's so many things. The problem in here is the lack of ingredients, right? Like the last time I was there, there's, for example, that huitlacoche, the fungus that comes from the corn. That's something that we have in Mexico that's big, right? Like, but here you cannot have it other than in the can. Way different taste. Like, for more that you would like to do what I would like to do, it's not gonna be the same. The problem are the ingredients,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So sometimes we are able to get certain ingredients, but most of the time it's not possible. For example, right now I'm happy to have epazote, that is kind of like the biggest herb for most of the Mexican cuisine.
Oh,
Like we do have that in a couple of dishes here and there. And most of the time you have it dry, but it's way better fresh.
yeah, of course.
So right now I have the supplier with us. That's why I was able to do the corn in the cob because that's a secret ingredient in there. It has to be, right? Makes the whole difference in there. So yeah, like little by little I've been trained, to get certain, suppliers and certain ingredients, but I feel that uh, whatever is going on in the cuisines in Mexico, the new cuisine, that it's amazing, right? Because they're geniuses down there. Uh, sometimes it will be hard for us
Incorporate.
to incorporate because of the ingredients, right? Yeah, and I feel that also it's like a lot of people think that it will be like, oh, Mexican food is cheap. Like, no, actually, it's right, like more expensive a little bit. Like for me, a box of chili, like guajillo that I make the pastor marination from scratch. I'm not doing any powders.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm doing from scratch. Obviously, takes time, takes money, right? It's a different scenario from I think what people is having in their heads, like, oh, cheap.
Yeah.
No, well, nothing is cheap
And salsa.
anymore, right? But
Yeah.
that's the other thing. Like we do most of our stuff from scratch, right? So you're not getting salsa from a can. That's not gonna happen, right?
No, that's
So
amazing. No, and I agree 100%. Like, I know so many my family members are like, the tomatoes here, the worst. Like, like, because the tomatoes, like, grow back
yeah,
much better. Like, and you notice it because I visited just like November, and I
yeah,
was like, this is night and day. I'm like, what's the
yeah,
difference? Like, well, we picked this fresh this morning.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Makes
yeah,
makes a difference. Like I said,
night
yeah,
and day. Like, I was
yeah,
like, oh, great. Yeah, I guess
yeah.
we'll like, and then of course, like, I brought some back with me, but even by the time I brought it back, I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
It's not the same. Yeah, it has to do with that, right? Like we're trying our best, like I said, to do as much as we can, similar, but it has to do a lot with the ingredients. You just mentioned one basic tomato.
Yeah, yeah.
Tomato for me here tastes like water.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
it's
So I'm
so
like,
much like every time I like tabbouleh or anything that we make it, I'm like, something is just
just missing, right? Like a little bit of that.
what can you do? And also understand that like it's not nice and tropic and
Yeah, no,
it's
no,
super
we're
cold.
getting
So
from
yeah.
everywhere else. Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
A little bit of a challenge here and
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing that like I just always love when everything is like made kind of brand new, fresh. One question I wanted to ask you
Yeah.
because a lot of my family is divided on this. I always believe if you go into a restaurant, you should be able to see kind of line of sight the chefs, the cooks, everything.
I do like that. For me, it's important, right? And at the location, we do have an open
Yeah, yeah.
kitchen, right? Sometimes it's not good,
Uh,
especially when they're like,
upset. Yeah, you're like close it. Yeah, so we're
it's like,
done. Yeah.
right? But no, no, like it's part of the show too, right? I feel that, and we do have a lot of clients when they kind of maybe stop by and they say bye to the cooks. Like I feel that that's a nice connection, right? Like you really see who's
Yeah, you're
dealing with your
connecting.
food. I think it's nice. I like it. I like that concept. The other day we had a little problem with the hood that didn't work, right? Because the whole smoke
Yeah.
went out, and it was like that's when if you have a closed kitchen, it would
Kitchen.
be
Yeah, like
nice,
that would be amazing.
right? But no, I feel that for me it's always better to also see it, right? Well, I'm always interested, right? Like what's going
No,
on?
100%. I think it gives to the feel. I'm always like, I always love when like the prep is happening. Like I know it must be stressful to make it, especially like during rush and like,
Oh yeah, well, rush is rush.
yeah,
No matter what you do,
you're like, I
rush
wish
is
this was
rush.
closed so I
Yeah,
could be upset and
yeah,
swear at the orders. But like, but I always feel like as soon as you come in, if it's kind of more open and I get to see, I'm
yeah,
just a lot more relaxed. If I'm
yeah,
never
yeah,
able to see anything,
yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
where is this
yeah,
coming from?
exactly. And I'm like, is it gonna be
Yeah,
microwaved? Is it fresh
is
or
it
not?
fresh? Where is it coming from?
But
Yeah,
like walking in there, like you're right, like immediately I can see and like the smell. I remember like
yeah, the
noted
smell.
immediately like as soon as you walk in, the smell is just like, yeah, I
Yeah,
want everything. Like it just feels like I'm walking into like a creative layer of like all the
yeah,
spices and foods and everything happening. I'm like, I'm
yeah,
happy. This is gonna be great. Not that I thought anything else, but like
yeah.
I was just like so excited
No,
to
but it
just like,
gives you that, like, I always, if I go to a restaurant and right away I get a certain smell, like, I'm like, oh, excited, right? Like, what's gonna happen, right?
nice,
So,
perfect. No. Wanted to ask this last time, never had the chance to because we talked about so many things. Um, is there like if you're not having Mexican, what is your next go-to favorite?
ooh, well, that's a hard question.
See?
It's funny because when you're in the cooking business, I guess, it's hard first of all for me to have day off and go to check something else, right? But if I do, I try everything, right? One of my favorites most of the time is also like Indian. Like,
Ah,
well, I feel a lot, honestly. Yeah, that's a hard question for me.
yeah.
I do like the other day I went to this Japanese that it was like, wow, this is super cool. But yeah, I think I tend to go more for like a, like, yeah, more similar maybe to my
Close.
cuisine. Yeah, like Indian, I find it very also spice, like
Mm.
heat and here and there, the textures too. But for example, my main cook is from Syria. He
Oh,
has
nice.
been introduced me to certain Lebanese places and all this. The other day we went to one that I was like, this is really good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like kind of also like family and small and everything from scratch. It was good. So as long as it's, I think, good food,
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't really matter.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's
So, but still, the main thing that I have a restaurant is because I eat what I want when
yeah.
I want, right? So, I think that's the main thing, right?
Okay, okay. Then I have to ask, is there anything where you like, if you were to order it to, of course, feed yourself for the day, that's like, that's the Mariel special. Like, do you do anything in the restaurant where you eat it and they know that that's your dish because you made it or something? Like,
Well, there's obviously like I said, for example, the pastel azteca.
mm,
That's my grandma Sunday night trying to get rid of like roasted chicken, right, from the day from the week. So those are like family memories for me, and but I feel that, yeah, like. mm, I feel, for example, there's a platter, we call it el plato de la abuela, a little bit of everything.
oh,
That's another thing that I feel that that's very typical in the way of how I eat,
yeah,
that I
yeah,
like to just, put a little bit of everything, so
make it happen.
those, yeah, those are the things that I think I like and enjoy the most.
Yeah, because
So,
it's like so many like memories and stuff like, and we have the same thing. It's like you've cooked, you've done it, and then one day you'll have like your grandma, whoever's like, I'm not cooking today. And you're
yeah,
like, all right, so we're gonna mix this and put
yeah,
this and make it happen, and you get a platter of like everything, especially after
yeah,
holidays, right? Like
yeah.
you get a mix of everything. So that's awesome. Is that a thing that you can ask for? Is that
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
special?
it's in
Oh,
the
actually,
menu.
oh
Yeah,
really?
we call it el plato de la abuela, like grandma's platter.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of everything. Maybe grandma trying to get rid of everything on Sunday. There you go. Heat it
Make it
up.
happen,
Here
yeah.
you go.
Close it up. No,
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
yeah. It's one of the most popular items right now too,
Oh,
right? Yeah, it gives
cool.
you like that variety, right? So you can choose, mix and match. So it's a good way to try different things.
We'll give it a try.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that we're talking about all these amazing foods. So we'll be right back and we're going to try some amazing dishes. And we're back. This actually smells fantastic. I'm loving the smells that I'm kind of already picking up here. Like, oh, it just looks so delicious. As you folks can see, we'll cut to a different camera angle entirely here, Rekha, but like, just look at how awesome. This looks like this is definitely something. And you said there was a phrase that you used. You said it's not a soup, and it's like
Stoop.
a
We call
stew.
it stoop.
No, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, look
Between
at
a
these.
soup and a stew, right?
Like,
Yeah.
and sorry, this was
Mole de olla.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mole de olla.
Mole de olla. Yeah, so basically it's an oxtail soup.
Ooh.
We do have zucchini, carrot, green bean, chayote squash, potato, corn. So this is a very representative dish from the central Mexico, between Puebla, Mexico, Hidalgo,
Oh,
right? Tlaxcala, like most of those cities together, they do this dish, and they just do a little bit different in each
in each
city,
one, yeah.
right?
Does
But
one
it's
try to claim it better than the other or something?
well, I think we do that all the time with everything, right? And then we just call it
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
But this one, yeah, mole de olla, it's one of my favorite things. For me, this is a must when you're hangover. This is a
Oh,
good thing.
this is the secret
I
ingredient.
like it that way, but also when, like just, like kind of the comfort part,
Yeah,
you can
yeah. No,
really,
it
really,
looks super,
yeah,
super, like I said, like for the folks at home, like
yeah,
look how like hearty and
yeah.
amazing this
Oh,
looks.
this is a good portion. Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I am going to definitely
Give it a little bit of a
first
try
see.
before the toppings. Yeah.
Oh, that's. I'm gonna do it again. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't mean
yeah.
to.
No, yeah. This is a pasilla chili base, right? With the oxtail, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I feel that is kind of a nice example for like the combination between like very pre-Hispanic way of thinking, and then when Spain came, bringing the pucheros,
Oh
right?
yes,
Like
yes.
that kind of mix, right? So,
No, it's
so yeah.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm going to try the oxtail. Little known fact,
Yes.
we don't have ox, so I've never tried ox before.
Yeah, it's very,
So this
it's like a butter. Yeah, like I like how it just melts.
is for the camera.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This is
So
gonna be a
yeah,
great interview of just me going delicious,
yeah,
missing out, delicious. No, that's you're right.
yeah.
It just like
Melts.
that cut through so easily. That's wow.
Yeah, it's so funny because I feel that everywhere right now, oxtail is very expensive now because maybe somebody said, "Oh, this is fancy,"
This is
because
yeah.
way before it was the cheap cut,
Really?
right? Like this is actually that mole de olla will be in the farmers market in Mexico. Like in my city, you can find it in the farmers market and all that.
So it's actually much cheaper to get the oxen now. It's
It used to.
yeah,
Now it's like a fancy thing,
the fanciest
right?
thing.
So now it's like, oh, okay.
I feel that always happens with
Yeah.
ingredients. As soon as someone like tries to add it,
Yeah.
like avocados, I feel like that was
Well,
one that like
yeah.
for the longest time like no one cares. Then
Yeah.
one day they're like
Boom,
avocado toast.
avocado, and boom, everybody,
Everyone's like
avocado.
it's hundreds of dollars. I'm like great, thank you.
Yeah, but let me put you some
Oh yeah,
toppings. Like obviously, like it's not necessary, but I
no,
like it because of the texture, right? So we just have a little bit of onion, a little bit of cilantro,
nice.
right? Just to have a little bit of fresh. This chile de árbol we added in case you wanted more spice, like just throw it in there,
Yeah,
right? And obviously, as a good Mexican, we're addicted to lime, right? But also, like I feel that you need to understand that lime brings a lot of the flavors, right? Right? So you will taste these way different.
oh,
All right.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stir it up here.
Yeah.
By the way, this camera right here that's showing the top angle view, you're probably getting some gold right here.
Yeah.
This is it already like what's crazy? Is after you squeeze that in there, it smells
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Yeah.
let's
You
see.
have some chayote, squash, potato. So yeah. And it's supposed to be like chunky, right? Like this is how we do it back home.
That is way better. It was already so good.
Yeah.
This is way better. And
Yeah, but it complements the whole thing, right? I feel that the lime, everything just brings it
yeah,
together.
it just like
It's-
more flavors
Yeah.
like popped out to the front. I can definitely it was cilantro, right? That was
Yeah, cilantro and just diced onion. Yeah.
and then the lime
Yeah.
for sure
Yeah.
helps it out. So, a question I kind of had for you, didn't really ask it in the interview, is this looks fantastic, and obviously you'd want me to come in for this. How does this translate for takeout?
Well, the takeout part, it will be like we do just like this is a liter, right? Like basically you will have a liter of food, right? So we do send it as hot as possible.
Okay.
That's the thing about these things. The challenge with takeout, it will be first of all that you need to maybe reheat and all that. Especially this one, and we talk to the people when they do takeout, is that if it's not hot enough, give it a little bit of
Yeah, yeah.
like a little bit more heat, because obviously you don't want the texture of the fat
No,
of the
no.
oxtail,
Yeah.
right? So we really try to explain as much as we can for takeout, but obviously also if we're doing, for example, we work with certain delivery service, you can't do that, right? For more than we try,
Yeah.
right? So obviously I know takeout is still like a big thing out there, but I always recommend go for the dining experience. It will be
Yeah,
way better.
I can't imagine
Yeah,
having
and
this like here,
yeah,
like now,
yeah,
by you. I bet you it was 100 times
yeah,
better.
yeah. And obviously, for example, this dish, I think it's perfect for winter.
Yeah.
Like this kind of like we're almost there. Finally, maybe
Yeah,
done.
maybe hopefully, yeah.
Right,
Most
but if
definitely, yeah,
not, I
knock on
mean, it
wood, yeah.
doesn't need to be winter to have it, right? But in winter, this kind of thing, like hearty, like
Yeah,
soupy, I like it. So
it's like it's very much like warms you.
yeah,
Like and I know
yeah,
like yeah, obviously it's hot, but inside I just like having it, I'm just like
yeah,
this is nice, very like soothing. I
yeah,
can see the hangover part for
yeah,
sure
yeah.
because I'm like, man, that just like
That's a
comes in
good
so
thing.
nice. It's just like I don't know, it's like a soothing, very calming
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and it's very like I said, especially like in the middle of the country, Mexico, Hidalgo, my city. Even we have like a phrase in Mexico. We say "a darle que es mole de olla." It's like let's get it going, right? Like even the dish kind of represents that, like kind of "a darle que es mole de olla." We say sometimes, so it's part of our culture, right? Like it's one of I think it's very representative for
Oh,
what we're doing. So
and
yeah.
is this one brand new or have you
Yeah, no, this is a new one.
new item?
This is a new item.
Exclusive
So
for
yeah,
folks at home?
I feel that a lot of people is confusing a little bit because we call it mole de olla, and a lot of people is relating mole as the chocolate chili sauce.
Of course.
So we're really trying. That's the other challenge, right? It's not that I'm gonna educate it. No, no, no. But I'm trying to explain to you
Yeah.
what's going on, right? So yeah,
This was fantastic.
yeah.
I'm going to sneak a
Yes, please,
in because
please, please, before it gets cold.
just let me also tell you if I don't have anything here, Raka is gonna take it over.
So yeah.
Mm.
Veggies, you can't go wrong with that. So, yeah, and pasilla pepper is pretty unique flavor, right? It's not like a heat.
Yeah.
You're not like habanero. No,
No,
it's just
just
warm, right?
perfect,
Spiced.
yeah. Just like I wish I could do justice to you folks at home, but you'll have to come and try it out yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
But it is just the vegetables nice and fresh.
yeah,
The oxtail is just butter. Like
yeah,
it literally just disappears in your mouth.
yeah.
And then just the overall kind of sauce. I want to say the sauce or like the
Like, yeah,
of
that's
the
why.
base.
That's
Yeah.
why. Yeah, a really good friend of mine. He's also like a cook.
Mhm.
I tried with him, being him Canadian. I say, "What do you think?" And he told me this is a perfect soup. And I love the word. I was like, "Yeah, that's how we're gonna
It's
describe it."
golden. Like this would be something to kind of have. Forget your Campbell's
Yeah.
soup cans at home. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, well,
Like,
not even. I wouldn't
yeah.
wouldn't even compare it. But
No,
yeah.
it's night and day. I love like how nice and like I said, the spices are there,
Yeah.
but they're not spicy. It's just like it's just a gentle and soothing,
Yeah.
calming. So 10 out of 10. Mariel, loved having you out for the show.
Thank you.
This was fantastic. Looks great on camera.
Yeah.
Anything you would like to leave us with before you go?
I guess stop by, try new things. Don't be afraid, right? Like I understand like a lot of people they just have tacos, enchilada, and burrito in their
Yeah.
head. But we are way more than that. So obviously the only way to know is to try it. Right? So I always recommend in the restaurant, even I think it's always also better when you come with friends and they share, right? Because for example, these could be like, like a little bit of everything with everybody.
This is just
Oh,
all
this
on
is
me.
you. Yeah. Well, I don't share either, right? But yeah, like that's a good way. And like I said, just to be adventurous, right? And because we're just trying to share what we miss, I guess.
Perfect.
So
And for the folks at home, where can they find the restaurant?
9880 63rd Ave. You can't miss it. It's the corner of Argyle and 99. Very colorful, right? That purple sign.
Yeah, it's
You can look
amazing.
it everywhere. But yeah, we're there Tuesday till Saturday. We open at 11. We close at 9 Tuesday till Thursday.
Okay.
And then Friday and Saturday, we're closing at 10.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. All right, folks. This has been another episode of Gabby Tries. Mariel, thank you again for joining
you.
us. And hope you folks stop by because I'm telling you, you're missing out if you don't. Have a great one.
Yes, thank you.